Well, good morning. It's the 22nd of January 2022, and anyway, see my other videos, you'll remember we did a walk from this very car park. This is the Quarry car park above Kimmeridge a few months back, and that was going over towards Swire Head and Ropelake Head and round the Clevel Tower and Kimmeridge and back to the car. But of course that was a weekday, so the range walks were closed. Today is a Saturday, so we're going to head off towards Tyneham Cap, which is over there, and that's also the direction of Warbarrow Bay and Tyneham. So I'm not sure how far we're going to get. We're going to follow our noses a bit. It's a lovely day, a little bit cloudy, but all right. So let's see how we get on. Let's go, shall we? So this is the path that heads off, and eventually we'll join up with the formalised range walks in about a mile and a half. It's about 9:45, and all we can hear is the odd tractor, and if you can hear that, a lot of sheep. But there's a Clevel Tower down there, and for those of you that saw my earlier video doing the Swire Head walk, that's a walk up there up to the point, which is a steep old climb. I think we'll find some of those today as well. Beautiful day to be out. Bit chilly, not too bad though. Let's carry on up here then. So done about a mile from the car, not very far, and the first piece, the mile, you can do regardless of the range walks being open or closed, but this is where the range walks start properly, and as you can see, they're pretty clear about what you can and can't do, and it's a real firing range, so these are regularly patrolled. It's not uncommon to see a ranger in the Land Rovers driving around here. Very peaceful and quiet today. Red flag is down, as you can see, and if we look round, we're now looking back towards Kimmeridge and the Clevel Tower, and there you can see in the distance Swire Head, and in the far distance St Aldham's Head. So even a little bit murky day, it's lovely visibility. And if I look back behind me completely, then you can see the ridge line which heads towards Studland and to the right Swanage, and in the gap there you've got, although you can't see it, Corfe Castle. So bit of beautiful Dorset, Purbeck, Jurassic Coast countryside. So continuing walking on the range walk, there was a lower path which I'm not taking, and see in the distance there, that is Tyneham Cap in the distance, and over there in the background you've got Warbarrow Bay, and got this beautiful panorama which is now slightly obscured by the hill, but when I get to the end I'll show you that the Kimmeridge is basically in the centre of a horseshoe of hills, and the one end of the hills is Tyneham Cap, and the other end of the hill line is Swire Head, and it is a complete horseshoe shape to this part of the coast. And at the moment, having walked on the Swire Head path a few months back, I'm now walking on the other end of the headline, so if you like, to complete the horseshoe, although I'm aiming to turn right towards Warborough if all goes well in a minute. And over here we've got the other ridge line that runs from Corfe, and I'm pretty sure down there that is a deserted farmhouse and buildings which will be part of the Tyneham village that was evacuated during the war, which again we may get to later on. Beautiful and peaceful, and we shall carry on, getting fairly undulating now, so see how we get on. So I'm in a few yards of Tyneham Cap, so I thought I'd stop and just show you the horseshoe. There's Swire Head and St Aldham's in the distance, and as we pan around, and you've got Kimmeridge Bay, a path going from Kimmeridge. There's actually some people down there you might just be able to spot walking. And then Tyneham Cap is just there in front of me. And there, again in the distance, behind Tyneham Cap, you've got Warbarrow Bay, and to the right, and you can't see it yet, is Tyneham. That's a staggering view, and I know I say it a few times, but it's very true. It's like being in an aeroplane up here. You're so high, and the view is just to die for. Just magnificent. I'll just pan out a bit, you get a better view of the panorama. And the car is back there where there's a dip in the hills. Well, very conveniently, after a bit of a climb, someone's very nicely put a seat here for us, which is another seat with an absolutely staggering view. Absolutely staggering view. I don't think you can see the front, particularly today. You feel like you should be able to though. So we've walked past Tyneham Cap now. Met another chap who walked up from Kimmeridge. He's got a rather long hike to Lordwood Cove, which you can just see the little inlet over there in the coast. This path is taking us right down to Warbarrow Bay, which you can see down there. And the idea is we hang a right at some point and head back to Tyneham village, which is just down there in the trees. You can't really see it, but it is down there. You can see the car park quite well. There's another path which will take back up to the top here. But this, of course, is all military ground, and they never let them back into Tyneham after the war, which has been a constant source of angst. But it doesn't mean the place is really quiet and peaceful. So let's see what goes next, and I'll catch up in a minute. There you go, and look at that. What a place to be. Somebody on the beach down there. Fancy a swim, anybody? I don't think it's that warm, but it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we're going to head along here to the end, hang a right, down the slope, and we're joining up with it's either a minor road or a very well trodden path, which is the main route into Tyneham, or the route from the Tyneham village down to the beach basically. So we're going to walk down to there, walk into Tyneham, and then hopefully the earlier path where I could have turned right, I'll take back up to here, and then we'll walk back up to Tyneham Cap and then into Kimmeridge, and then back to the car. That's the basic plan. So we'll see what we get on. So I'll pick up probably when we get down to the path towards Tyneham. So here we are at the basic entrance to Warbarrow Beach, and we just come down this incredibly steep path. I'm not sure the camera picks up how steep it is. There's got to be 1 in 3 at least. Thank God it hasn't been raining, because it was really steep and slippery, and that's without any rain. So I came down by hanging onto the fence post, which, judging how loose some of them were, I'm not the only person. But here we are down down basically at the entrance to the beach, which is the main path down from Tyneham village, which is where we're going to walk now. And there you are, there's Warbarrow Beach, Warbarrow Bay, which is beautiful. And you see on the hill there another number, number 3, which is probably where they fire over. And yeah, we can walk up here to the right. So I'll pick up again at the village. So this is the road or track leading into Tyneham. I just thought I'd show you this. This is the part of the firing ranges and the machinery that moves targets along. I've no idea whether it's still used. I suspect not, but you see the track, you see the little carrier there, and I guess the troops would fire at the moving targets, and they'd be based I assume to the left, over here somewhere. But again, I think it's highly unlikely it's used these days, given the proximity of all the tourist paths. But just shows it's a live firing area. So here we are at the entrance to Tyneham. Bit of information about the ranges here. Seems to have been used since the 1800s for different types of military activity. Part owned by the Lordwood State and part owned by the Ministry of Defence. Anyway, I'm going to pop into the village now, but this is also the start of the path back up towards Tyneham Cap, where we'll go in a minute. But we've come to sort of a right-hand turn, and you can see we're into the realms of tourist stuff, so we'll walk down here into the car park and have a look at the village. So here's the village, what's left of it, complete with phone box. And here's the church ahead, which used to be still used, I think. At least when they went throwing shells at it. And and the rest of the village is just coming up here. In front of me is the rectory, and on the left here is Tyneham School. Certainly a time capsule. Tiny little, not even a village, more of a hamlet. Amazing place. So I just stopped here for a bit of sustenance, right in the centre of Tyneham village. Got to walk back now through the car park, and then back up that path we saw up towards Tyneham Cap. It's going to be quite hilly, so I'm getting a bit of sustenance. Oh, a bit of chocolate to help you out. It is quite busy here for January. So you imagine what it's like in the summer. It'll be absolutely packed. But it's a nice calm day, so why not? So there it is. Drink the water and start heading back up the hill. Okay, so I've rejoined the Tyneham Cap path, having walked up from Tyneham village. Quite a steep and very muddy path, as my very muddy shoes would tend to indicate. And actually quite a few people about now. And what we're doing now is walk along here, and then when the path allows us to carve off to the right, we head down into Kimmeridge. I imagine it's going to be a pretty steep path, so that'll be an interesting bit of navigation without falling over. But there we go, that's Kimmeridge Bay again. Just coming into view now. And in front of us, just where you can see here, they are some extremely steep cliffs. Not to be taken lightly. Luckily there's a big fence here, but yeah, there we are. There's Kimmeridge in the distance, and the car park down there. Hardly a breath of wind now, hardly a breath of wind. And this is a path I walked earlier on, and it's up there, keep along and down into Warbarrow, which is what I did. So think it's probably about 4.5 miles so far. I'm guessing by the time we get back to the car it'll be at least 6, probably 6.5, but we'll see. But it is just beautiful. And I'm quite looking forward to meeting my old friend the Noddy Donkey down in Kimmeridge, which I think is one of the very few on-site oil wells in the UK. It's still going after many years, so we'll have a look at that when we get down there. But for the minute, I'll catch up shortly. This is a path now, which basically is a path on the edge of the hill. It looks like you're walking on a very narrow path, but actually it's quite wide, as you can see. It might get narrower in a minute, but this just follows down all the way down into Kimmeridge Bay and past the oil farm, as I said. So should be easy going. I don't know how it's going to be on the steeper bits, but this is fine. And there's a seat up here, as you can see. And you see how the land has slipped along this coast. So that's obviously from years ago. But I guess at some point that lot's going to come down at some point. Sea's really calm and very clear. And as we turn the corner here, you start to see St Aldham's Head and the Clavel Tower and Kimmeridge again. There's the Kimmeridge ledges down on our right. So we'll walk on down into Kimmeridge, and let's just see something interesting. I'll pick it up again when we get into the oil farm area. But that's a path just down again, just going down there. Let me turn left at the coast. So yeah, I'll pick it up in a minute. So here you have it. One of the very few, if only onshore oil sites in the UK. One nodding donkey, still going after goodness knows how many years. Minding its own business. And an oil tanker comes here every so often and takes the oil from the tanks over here and takes them off to a refinery. Fully, I assume. And there it is. Slight smell of oil. But yeah, bit of history really. So I thought I'd show you the route. I'll see if I can show it with my finger here. So we started here at the Quarry car park just above Kimmeridge, walked all the way along here, remember, along to Tyneham Cap, and we keep on following the path along, right down here, dropping down to Warbarrow Bay and the path towards Tyneham, and walked in on the harder way towards Tyneham, little pit stop in Tyneham, then out of Tyneham, up here, a zigzag path up here, and we walked back along here, then dropped down beneath Tyneham Cap, walked back along the coast, to Kimmeridge, where we are now, where I'm sitting, and then in a minute we're going to turn left back up towards Kimmeridge and back up the car park, which we've done before, and you've seen that before. So I think that is probably going to be about 7.5 miles in total, I think. But I'll try to go back to the car. But that's the route, and just give you one last view of it, if you want to have a quick look and freeze the video. That's it. So, Quarry car park above Kimmeridge, along the top, did the loop round Tyneham and Warbarrow Bay, then back to Kimmeridge and back to Kimmeridge Bay, and then back up to Kimmeridge and the Quarry car park. There we are, and I'm just sitting here, nearly back at Kimmeridge car park. There's the Clavel Tower opposite me, just over there. And we're going to take a path which is literally behind that hedge, takes us back up to Kimmeridge, up to Kimmeridge village, that is. So, a few hundred yards and back to the car at the Quarry car park. It was a beautiful walk. As you can see behind me there, the scenery is just absolutely staggering. It really is. Just check the watch. I think it's going to be, yeah, I think that's going to be best part of 8 Mile by the time I get back to the car. So a decent walk. Definitely categorise it as moderate. Hope you enjoyed the map view, and I stopped at Kimmeridge. So you can actually replicate it if you wish to, but there's so many different varieties of this walk around here. You can just choose what suits you, but I thought this was a perfect walk actually. More or less circular. Sort of Nod and Donkey, sort of Tyneham Warbarrow Bay. Yeah, joyful walk. So hopefully you can come out and enjoy it like I have, and until the next time, see you then.